What's up guys, John L here. So we have another 3-star who's champ maxed and ready to be sent upstate. But before we let go of Grey Black Widow, I wanted to take a look at her and a couple of teams that she works with that are actually a couple pretty phenomenal teams in Marvel Puzzle Quest. One of them's a pure 3-star team, one of them's kind of like a 3-4 star hybrid team. And I'll go over both of those, and I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to demo quite yet. Probably I'll just stick with the straight 3-star team, but I want to mention the 3-4 star team, because I actually think that one's better too. So let's go ahead and set up our team. So we're going to put Grey Black Widow in, of course. We're going to put Scarlet Witch in. And I will talk about the first team, which is Grey Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, and Hulk. So this is a pretty old team that's pretty popular, really solid for 3-star players, and let me just kind of go over how it works. So let's take a look at Black Widow first. The whole point of this team, or pretty much any of the teams with Grey Black Widow, is to use Sniper Rifle. Now for Grey Black Widow, you're going to want to have her as a 5-3-5, so you're going to have Sniper Rifle at 5, you're going to want to have Pistol at 3, and you're going to want to have Deceptive Tactics at 5. So let's take a look at her powers really quick. One thing to note first, her matchup damage. So her most damaging thing is her purple, which is 85, and that's an important thing to remember when you put together the 4-star team. So anyways, we'll take a look at Sniper Rifle. So you want to have this at 5, because if you take a look even at 4, basically it does a whole bunch of damage in a crazy, reticle shape pattern, as it mentions over here. But even at 4, it does damage to the current target, so only one person gets hit. Why you want to have it at 5 is that it does damage to the entire team. So that's a pretty big difference right there. If you have a Grey Black Widow, there's not really a reason why you should have Sniper Rifle anything less than 5. The problem is, every level that you increase Sniper Rifle costs more, and 19 is exceptionally expensive. But Grey Black Widow is built with another power that kind of, helps this. So it's Deceptive Tactics. At 3, she's going to convert 4 basic tiles into green. You want to have it at 5 so you can do 6. So this is fantastic, because what you're going to end up doing is building a whole bunch of 5s, so that way you can get a lot of green to help build up Sniper Rifle, and then you can also maintain your turn by having 5s. One thing, this team, you really just don't want to be playing against Jean Grey, because she'll mess you up with using all the 5s. I guess you could use 4s if you were really so inclined, but just FYI. Most of the time when you're going to use Deceptive Tactics, again, you want it at 5, you want to build those 5s in green, just so you can maintain your turn. So her last power, which doesn't really come into play all that much, is called Pistol. It's 14, it's a red. As you can see, Deceptive Tactics doesn't really do much to help her get this. The way I use Pistol is kind of, I'll end up getting red, maybe you'll get some red through cascades and stuff like that by using Sniper Rifle. And what Pistol is good, it does 2 shots, well at 3 shots, clearing a block of tiles. The block gets bigger as it increases also. I guess it really doesn't mention that here, but I think at 3 it's a 2x2 block. Here I think it's a 3x3 block and you get 3 shots. I'm not quite sure though. That being the case, you probably just want to keep this at 3. What I use Pistol for is if you end up fighting against some kind of minions or have some kind of character with some kind of special tile on the board that you want to get rid of, and you end up collecting enough red through just, again, the cascades and maybe other matches in some way, you can just use that to get rid of the tiles on the board. But it's really all about Sniper Rifle, and it's really all about Deceptive Tactics. So the way Scarlet Witch factors into the team is that she has Arcane Incantation. That's really the main part of Scarlet Witch. So you want to have this at 5 with her. It's a passive. and at the beginning of every turn, it's a 3-turn blue countdown tile that when it expires turns into 5 random purple tiles. So this in itself can cause some 5s, but mainly what it's going to do is build up a whole lot of purple for you so that you can use deceptive tactics, so you can use sniper rifle. So you can kind of see how that's going. Really, we're all just kind of putting in these, characters to build up to sniper rifle. She has Hex Bolt. It's a green. You really don't want to use it because, again, you want to be pushing all of that green over to sniper rifle. But if you do end up fighting some minions and stuff, you can use Hex Bolt as a way to maybe, take a lucky shot and get rid of some kind of countdown tile that's about to expire and really hurt one of your guys. Reality Crush is a purple. Again, you really don't want to be using this just because all the purple you want to accrue, you want to push to deceptive tactics so you can get all that green. But if you do end up having a lot of purple and you run into like some kind of super character or whatever who is doing a lot of damage, you can use this, and it does have a really great stun, which is for 5 turns, and also does some damage to the enemies, but not much. It's a really solid stun that takes enemies out of the battle for like a long time. Again, though, just a little bit expensive, and again, keeping with the whole concept of the team, you really want to be pushing all that green and all that purple to deceptive tactics and sniper rifle. So the X factor of this team is Hulk and Professor X. So Hulk is the pure 3-star version of this team, and the way he works is, it's called the Hulk Bomb. So basically, Hulk has his power Anger, and whenever he takes more than 5% damage, he's gonna pump out 1 black countdown tile, or 1 black 1-turn countdown tile that changes 4 basics to green. So you can kind of see where this is going. We're getting more green. So basically, it's not a great team just because you're going to have Hulk taking a lot of damage, but he's just going to keep on spitting out these countdown tiles that are expiring, turn into like more green, and more green, and more green. So anyways, this with Scarlet Witch's purple and deceptive tactics is a way where you can rush in and get a lot of green for Grey Black Widow to use sniper rifle with. So that's the Hulk version of this team. Before we jump in, I want to take a look at the Professor X version of the team. You see this a lot because this team's actually really amazing, really phenomenal, as long as you have it built kind of the right way. So again, we know what Grey Black Widow does, we know what Scarlet Witch does, but what Professor X brings to the table in this team is he has Master Plan. So Master Plan, it's a passive. Let's see, Professor X teaches his allies to reorganize tactical openings, or recognize tactical openings. Whenever Professor X's team makes a match 5 or greater, it generates 4 AP in the team's strongest color and deals an additional 4,482 damage. So this, if you have a Professor X who has 5 covers in Master Plan, this can be a really crazy team. So whenever, let's say, you use deceptive tactics and you match a whole bunch of green 5s, Master Plan is going to fire off, and it can fire off multiple times. So what you want to do is match as many green 5s as possible. I've been able to do 3 turn. Maybe you can do 4. On a bad board, maybe you'll get like 2, but it's really good. So one, you're going to deal a whole lot of damage to the entire team, or actually no, to the just one target. If it was the entire team, it'd be too good. But you're going to do that, and then also every time this fires off, you're going to get 4 AP in your team's strongest color. So, and this also works when Scarlet Witch uses Arcane Incantation and makes a 5 in purple. So there's a couple ways you can get 5s here, which is pretty awesome. So if we pay attention to the strongest color, Professor X's is blue and it's 85. He's 274, so he's above 270 kind of max level. You want to pay attention to that because you want to pay attention to who has the strongest color in the group. So Grey Black Widow, as we took a look earlier, hers is 85 and it's purple. So that's fantastic. Scarlet Witch's, she's 85 and she's purple as well. So why do we want to pay attention to that? Because Scarlet Witch and Grey Black Widow both have purple as their strongest color, so whenever Master Plan fires off, you'll get 4 AP in purple if that's your strongest color. And if you take a look at Deceptive Tactics, 11 is what we need to get to another usage of it. So if we can get 3 Master Plans to fire off in one round, then like we'll have enough. So this team, if you can have purple as your strongest color, you can kind of perpetually keep doing this, and this is why it's such a devastating team. Once you get your purple, you might just be able to keep doing this and doing this and doing this, like every turn, and prevent the enemy team from getting any attacks off. And the only problem is Professor X, so there's supposedly some kind of setup you can do where if you organize your team so that the center character has, you know, purple as their main color, then that will be the main color, but I'm not quite sure. I've played around with it a little bit. I haven't found anything that was really successful or worked. You know, I guess you can try putting Professor X on the left or the right of the team. I don't know quite how it works. If any of you guys do, please mention in the comments, because this is one of the reasons why I don't use this team that much, just because with Professor X having the strongest color, it ends up being blue, and it really, really, like, impacts the team in, like, a negative way. So, let's go ahead and use Professor X instead of Hulk for this team, and maybe we'll have some luck and blue won't be the strongest color. Okay, so let's take a look. Nah, strongest color is blue. So anyways, what we want to do is we want to build purple more than anything. You kind of want to leave the green boards on the, or green tiles on the board, so that way you can use them to make all these 5s once you get Deceptive Tactics. So this team actually is really good with minions. It doesn't have any healing, so if you're going to use it against you know, regular characters, you're going to kind of take a little bit of a beating, which isn't great. So if Master Plan fire off, unfortunately we pick up some blue, so that's not fantastic. But we're getting close on purple, so we'll go ahead and do that. The other thing about Sniper Rifle is you see there's a whole bunch of countdown tiles on the board. It's looking a little bit scary. Sniper Rifle destroys all the tiles in this shape, so you're going to want to learn how to use that shape to your benefit, so that you can destroy like a lot of these countdown tiles. So we'll go ahead and make a couple. So we don't have enough to make 3, which kind of sucks, but 2 should be okay. So what's great about Deceptive Tactics, as you can see, is that, you know, you get to keep your turn. So we've done a lot of damage to that nodular muscle right there. And I have a critical tile on the board. I really want to ignore that because I really want to build to more purple. And again, this team would be way more fantastic if I was able to have purple as my strong, because I would already have enough purple for Deceptive Tactics. So if there really isn't a way to get, you know, a champed 4-star Professor X to not be the strongest color, then I would say just don't champ him, leave him at level 260 something. And even though that it's kind of counter to everything I've ever said, he'll be way more useful in this team than he is the way I have him now. Like, that's actually kind of a mistake. If I could go back, I would actually not have champ maxed Professor X at this point, not knowing if I can not make his color the strongest color. Alright, so we already have most of these guys taken out. You can just see how much damage this whole thing does. We have another 5 here. Let's go ahead and just do that. So we killed that guy. We'll go ahead and use sniper rifle. So you can see it's a really good and damaging team if you can get these guys to kind of build on their own powers. What I'm gonna do just for the heck of it is let's jump into another fight where we can take damage, and I'm gonna use the 3-star version of the team. Now that's weak. I'm gonna do this. Alright, why not? Okay, so we're gonna sub out Professor X, we'll put in Hulk. So I might just not include this or have this as a second video. Or I might leave it in. We'll see how long this whole thing takes. So now what we want to do is we want to match mostly with Hulk. Just so he actually ends up taking a beating. Unfortunately, we're not getting a lot of strong hits here. But we got a nice 5. So match purples. And try to just get Hulk to be the main matcher. Alright, so we got purple here, so let's start going off. So sometimes you need to be a little bit creative. Generally when you're looking for 5s, what you want to do is try to find everything where you only need to add 2, because that way you can make 3 5s versus just 2 or 1 in a worst case scenario. Alright, we're not really close, so we'll go ahead and just keep matching purple. So the tile shuffle that we get out of Deceptive Tactics is really good also. You're going to be able to match a whole bunch of, or get a whole bunch of extra matches just out of Cascades. So there's a lot of kind of like added benefit to this team. It looks like we can only make 2. So as I mentioned before, you want to get used to that shape of what sniper rifle does. So that way, when we use it, we can take out countdown tiles too. Alright. So you can see that the 3-star version of the team isn't quite as good as the 4-star version of the team. Let's see, so we have a pistol, and if we wanted to, we can use pistol. Oh, here's a 5. Okay, we'll make this purple here. We got a arcane incantation that's about to expire. We have a deceptive tactics ready to go. So just make sure you're not focused on someone who's about to die, because again, deceptive tactics is also going to get you a lot of good damage. Oh, that's a bummer. So this isn't a very good situation right here. Alright, what can we do? Not a whole lot. Nice cascade right there. So we can use pistol to help us out here too, but I'm trying to think. So on the MPQ wiki, which I encourage you to check out, they have diagrams of Grey Black Widow's pistol and sniper rifle powers. So it's good to take a look at that and just get an idea of the shape, because you can use pistols to your advantage too. So let's do this. Oh, I guess it's a 2x3 and my power, well, whatever. Alright, so now we have another sniper rifle ready to go. We'll make sure to select a position that gets rid of the countdown tiles. So Hulk really hasn't been a factor. He hasn't taken enough damage to Hulk Bomb, unfortunately. So here we go. He's definitely going to take some damage here. So this is what you're hoping for. And that gets more green on the board. Sometimes makes green matches for you. Here we go. Let's protect this blue. Let's go for some more red. So Hulk's taken a pretty significant beating here, and that's why I really don't like this team. He's already down to about maybe 66% of his life. And he doesn't heal, and he takes forever to heal. So it's probably not a great idea, but I want to protect that blue. Oh, in the corner, it's the worst. Alright, so we can use pistols if we wanted to, but I'm not gonna. Oh. Alright, we have one more turn before I get a cool 5 through Arcane Incantation, which is enough for Deceptive Tactics, which will probably end up killing off Juggernaut anyways, but you see how this team works. Alright. Okay, so with the two builds of the team, you've seen how they work out. You can see how the Professor X version works out better. If you have purple as your strongest color, it's even way better, like fantastic. If you don't have a Professor X, you can sub in Hulk, and as long as Hulk takes a beating, it can work out pretty good for you. So that is Grey Black Widow, and probably two of the best teams that she's with. I think now with Star-Lord and how he generates a ton of green, there might be some kind of teams that you can pair with him. So I might look into that. But for right now, she's earned a break. She's going fishing. Yoink. So let's go ahead and, oh my goodness. Sell off our Grey Black Widow. We get that cool 105,000 ISO and 500 hero points. So just remember too, Grey Black Widow, Patch, Super Soldier, 3-star Decan, 3-star, well, I don't want to say 3-star Cyclops, not him, 3-star Hulk. A lot of these characters are easy to rebuild, just because if you're cycling through your 2-stars, you're going to get 3 covers every time you rotate through them as well. So don't worry about selling them, you'll get them back soon, especially if you're somewhere around the 4- and 5-star range. You're probably not going to be using them all that much anyways. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about the Grey Black Widow, the couple teams that I showed you. Are there any other phenomenal teams that I didn't mention? And if anybody knows how to have a Professor X with a stronger color than Scarlet Witch and Grey Black Widow, again, I haven't figured it out, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Please like and subscribe too.